You're listening to Workforce Innovation News, powered by E18. Get ready to hear about all things workforce development and workforce innovation. And now, on to the episode.
Hello, and welcome to WIN, Workforce Innovation News. I am Jamie Korda-Hijawi. I'm the director for E18. Today, I have the lovely Brittany Aiken here with me. I appreciate you so much for agreeing to join me today and to talk a little bit about what you do there at Lakeland and how it works with workforce development. I know you're not in the workforce department, but what you do really does affect the workforce, and I want to get into that. So to start off, could you go ahead, do a little introduction of yourself, a little background, and what you do there?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Brittany Aiken. I am the Community Outreach Coordinator here at Lakeland College. I have been with Lakeland for a couple years now and have really taken on the role and just ran with it. I think my favorite part is kind of just being creative and coming up with different solutions to some of the issues that we're facing currently. So I have really enjoyed being here and kind of just making those efforts to make this position even more fitting for what we need here at the college.
And you have done a really good job. I've seen so much more fun stuff going on. I get a little bit of the insider background, and I know like you're working on parades, community events, and just fun stuff that I wouldn't have thought of. So that's really cool. I love it. So this particular episode is going to be part of our mini series on September is Workforce Development Month. So to start off, I'm going to give our listeners a definition of workforce development that I've come across and I really like because of the way it sounds and the way it's laid out. So workforce development is the coordination of public and private sector policies and programs that provide individuals with the opportunity for sustainable livelihood and helps organizations achieve exemplary goals consistent with societal context. And I put emphasis on those words because I love this three-pronged definition where we're looking at individuals and focusing models centered on training and education, which I think is where you come in at. And then also looking at it from an organizational perspective, looking at how we get skills and training into local employers and businesses, which would be key to keeping them competitive on a global level. And then just that whole societal perspective, that workforce development is a way to ensure future economic stability and growth. Like we don't think of it necessarily, especially when we're in it every day, we don't think about how it touches everything and really everyone's a stakeholder, but workforce development's pretty big and it touches just about everything.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the population that you work with. You're in the admissions department, you're looking to get people to enroll at Lakeland, but you work with some special populations that we don't traditionally think of. Can you go into that a bit?
Yes, absolutely. So traditionally, this position was for the non-traditional student or any student that's 18 and over. I think a lot of people view the typical college student as those coming, straight out of high school. But we do have a ton of non-traditional students that are interested in coming and pursuing different things. And it's more of a trickle, I would say. They want to come and try out a class and see how they like it. I also work with the Department of Corrections in the state of Illinois, which has also given me just so much insight into that area and just realizing how much people, they want to pursue something, they want to get a degree and they want to succeed out there in society. So, I work with everybody from the stay-at-home mom who's looking to get back out into the workforce, to those working at businesses who just want to maybe move up in a position that they can't do without further education. So all over the board, I'm working with a lot of different people.
So that really does seem like it crosses spectrums that you don't even expect to exist together. But it is pretty much everyone who's not in that high school pipeline. They've either chose different paths in life, or they're getting back onto a path that they had to get off for a little bit, or they're completely reorganizing how they're just attempting to navigate through life. So I really like that you talked about the Department of Corrections. I know Lakeland is one of the, if not the biggest educational provider in Department of Corrections in the state of Illinois. And I think like nationally, they're pretty well known for being in so many different facilities. Am I correct?
This is correct. So right now we are in 24 Department of Correction facilities in the state of Illinois. I believe it was 28. So you're looking at, I mean, the majority of that population we are serving, which is huge. So
it is, yes. And it's really inspiring too, because I think there has been a stigma for a long time that population of people, they are in an institution, they are not coming out, we kind of discarded them. But really, the whole intention is to rehabilitate them and get them ready to get back into society. They've paid their debts to whatever it is that they have done, but now they need to be reintegrated. So what happens after do you go and talk to them after they've been in some sort of program there within the facilities, or tell me more about how that looks?
Yeah, so these summits that I attend are called ReEntry Summits. So it's people that are most likely getting ready to get out, and they're going to be joining us back in our communities within 6 months. So I'm talking to them a lot about the courses that they've taken while incarcerated, and kind of where they're at. Have they finished those programs? Are they a couple credits short and need to pick up a couple courses in order to get that associate's degree or certificate? So I'm really trying to kind of go in and analyze and look at what they have and really encourage them to keep on pursuing that in completion. And if they have completed something with us, making sure that they get those transcripts that they need and they know who to contact, those resources to contact once they're out, so that they can use them for employment moving forward and have those credentials. So I think that's a lot of it. Is these are people that have had really no use of technology, no personal communication of sorts, and some of these are coming back after being incarcerated for 20 plus years. So really trying to educate them on current status of kind of education and where things are at and really what they need, because they haven't had to think about these things during this time. So yeah, really just helping them and guiding them along, even if it's telling them about other resources in the community that they can use, and depending on what they're looking for. So really just assisting and being a resource for them, and knowing if they get out too, they can give me a call and I can help them walk them through the process. So yeah.
That is really awesome. I love it. So then I know that you are an admissions person. You want to get people into programs, but you're talking about getting them into jobs and helping them analyze, get their transcripts, and be prepared to get into those jobs. So what references do you typically make? Are you in connection with any of the local businesses that are looking to hire and pursue the Department of Corrections reentry population as a potential talent pipeline? Or are you working with someone who does that aspect of it?
Yeah, I absolutely am in contact with these businesses. A lot of the people, I mean, one that stands out in my head are just these local automotive dealerships. Right now, they are desperate for people. And I think it's something they've considered in the past about employing these individuals, and even more so now. They want to give people opportunities, and they want people who are eager to get into these programs and learn and move forward and become an expert in the field. And what better source of individuals, then these people want a place. They want to excel in something. They want to get back into society, and they want to feel their worth. So, I am very just communicative with people of kind of what I do on a typical basis, so that they're aware, and they know as a resource, I'm going in and I'm giving people my contact. I can absolutely refer them to these employers as well. A lot of these summits have employers at them too, and just different community services. A lot of the same stuff that we talk to students about here at Lakeland College. So it's really just connecting them with the right individuals and being that resource to direct them to those employers.
Very cool. It sounds really like specific to Department of Corrections, but as you're talking about it, my experience of being a single mother who was going to school and trying to, do better for my children, I could really see you doing very similar things for those moms who are getting back into the workforce. So do you take a different approach with them, or is it pretty much the same, just a few little tweaks with the process here and there?
Yeah, I would say with that, I really try to reach out through community events and different things I participate in. I know every year we do a trunk or treat and we do different seasonal things out in the community, but really trying to connect with those moms, whether it's just attending an event where I'm conversing with their kids and, we have that conversation and I ask them if, they attended Lakeland, kind of just getting in that information. So it does look a little different, but it's really the same. How can we help them get to where they want to be and pursue something that they may have never tried before and have a hesitancy because of this, that, or the third. But I get a lot of phone calls and there's a lot of interaction, and it's just people wanting questions answered. So a lot of my day-to-day is just communicating with those individuals, whether it's a phone call, in person. I always say my door is always open for them to come to campus and kind of meet with me. But yeah, I mean, it might look a little different, but it's the same thing. We want people to come and know that we're a resource and we're going to get them to where they need to be.
Awesome. So kind of looking at it now from a slightly different angle, you did talk about building relationships with businesses to be able to understand their needs and make those connections.
Sure.
You talked about the automotive industry really needing people right now. I feel like a lot of the industries I've talked to, they're all needing people right now.
Yes.
But other than needing bodies and then figuring out how to upskill them from there, what are some other needs that you're hearing locally?
I would say, I think just a lot of skills, just skill refreshers in general, or people that have just, I see a lot of like courses coming in on just project management or just overall selling strategy. I think with everything that's happened the past couple of years, I think there is a gap in kind of that communication level or just how to interact with others. We got so accustomed to online everything. And so I think people are really trying to navigate, how do we make those connections, within our workplace, and even outside of that. So really getting people in on these courses that may seem really basic, but a lot of people, I feel like, just need that refresher, and kind of that just breath of something new or a concept that maybe they haven't heard before. So I am seeing that from a lot of just industries in general. It might be an Excel class, it might be project management. Like I said, I had a lot of people just principles of selling, which has a ton of communication in it. So it's just interesting to kind of see. I feel like people are kind of coming back to those basics just to kind of build that strong base before they can move on to some of these other courses that they're interested in.
Absolutely. I mean, even just personally, after doing all my grocery shopping through the Walmart app and picking it up, getting back into the store, like that took some getting used to.
Right.
So it's really easy for me to imagine people who took some time off to either help with kids who were learning from home, to take care of family, getting back out there. It's different. It's the same, but it's different. So it's a whole different level of getting used to it again. Like there's a whole bunch of different nuances that I think come along with it. So, and I am seeing that different balance of, there's still that request for some of these very, what we would call like occupational hard skills, like learn how to do this thing and make this thing and use this thing. But there's so much still about communication, about like just professional etiquette. Are you still hearing that a lot of the students maybe are needing some refreshers on how to communicate appropriately, and some of those like showing up to work on time skills? Are you still hearing that, or have we kind of shifted into this, well, now it's people's got that down, we got some other stuff we need to focus on now?
I'd say a little bit of that. Some feedback I've gotten from the businesses has just been, I think, general work ethic and the work situation. I think a lot of people have become accustomed to the remote life and not being in those in-person jobs, and it's harder to get people into those positions right now that are in person, and they need to be there all the time. And so, yeah, I have heard that feedback a little of just like, gosh, how do we come around? How do we compete with other people that are offering, these kind of things? And how do we, build that? And my response from an education aspect is give them something to make them feel important. For me, it's let them take a course and let them do it if they can during their work time, with us. And a lot of people are jumping on board with that, especially, some of the stuff I've done with tuition waivers and being able to take a 3 credit hour course for free and give them something, to try out, and those companies just covering the fees of the course. It's really given them, I feel like, an opportunity to feel like it's still a little bit of freedom, and that company is really backing them up because they want to see them grow and succeed in that position. So that's really been my feedback back to them. But the climate's hard right now, and a lot, I think people are getting used to the, being back in, and are still, they have that motive, they want to work. I think a lot of people, they want it to be on their terms, and they're being very selective because there is a lot out there right now to choose from, because everybody is looking to hire. So I always encourage people, get creative, give yourself a competitive edge, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot. Just really sit down and think about like what you can do that will really enhance your business and bring people in.
I hope you realize how creative you are, and how what you've just described to me, it was borderline genius. So a lot of the feedback I'm getting from HR managers and directors across the region is the ones that are not struggling so much with finding individuals to work. They are the ones that are taking a very holistic approach and looking at their employees as people. And what can we do to support your goals? What can we do to get you on the path to being a better person, if that's what you want? Like, how can we help you? How can we close gaps? Those ones are being really successful. And what you just did was you parlayed that into, hey, offer them a free class that you pay for. And it's absolutely helping the employee, it's helping the employer, and it's helping out Lakeland. And I love that win-win-win situation right there. That was too perfect. That was glorious. How did you do that?
Well, I'd say it's my job. It's my job to come up with these things. So, and I feel for people. I really do. And I get that you want to come to a place to work that you love and that you're passionate about. And I think what other way to excel by enhancing that through education? It's a great pathway. And it's something that I've always appreciated, not only in this role, but previous roles that I've been in. So, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yes. That you just like spoke my language, and that was amazing. So my background before I was in the WIOA department working with WIA 23 was I worked in career and technical education under the Perkins grant. So I worked with a lot of faculty members in career and technical education programs, and I got to learn about a lot of the stuff they were doing, helping them purchase equipment to keep them updated with industry standards, keeping them cutting edge with technology and everything. It was so awesome. It was so intriguing. I was learning about stuff I never thought. I learned about TIG welding, and like I didn't know that was even a thing beforehand. So when you're out there and you're working with individuals, helping them achieve their goals, what what kind of things are you seeing that you're just like, oh, wow, if I would have known about this a while ago, maybe I would have taken a completely different path in life. Or maybe when I get some time, I want to try a course in this program because it looks really interesting. What's jumped out at you?
Yes, I think for me, I'm a big plant buff. So the whole horticulture area, I'm like, man, like I think about that. I also think about programs that we offer, like residential wiring, some of these like niches that like just people, it doesn't seem like we have a ton of students in those areas, but there's such an opportunity. I'm a big house renovator, and so I know, like, for me, trying to find someone to come and do this, that, and the third, which are some of these classes that we're teaching. It's hard. It's hard to get those people. So for me, if some of these classes line up with my schedule, I'm absolutely going to be taking them because it's something that intrigues me and something that is not offered everywhere that we are lucky enough to have here. So, I think, yeah, for me, it's the residential wiring, it's the horticulture area. Any chance I can get to take a tour of the greenhouse here on campus, I'm like, get me over there. I want to see all the things. So I really enjoy it. And that's something I didn't even know Lakeland had prior to coming here, because I have never just looked that far in depth. So, and I love sharing that with other people too. And when I see that come across my board, people that are interested in this and that, I love it. And I try, in my responses just to, really talk it up because that's exciting, and something that people can do great in if they put the right resources into it.
For sure, that is. It's fun to be able to share excitement and to see other people getting excited for the opportunities. Yeah, it's very fulfilling. I miss that part of it. Very cool. All right. So while we have just a couple more minutes and you have the undivided attention of our listeners, what do you want to talk about that you want to get out there? What upcoming things, innovative things? Like, it is yours. What do you want to tell our listeners right now?
Sure. So right now, this is kind of my month to kind of just collaborate, think of some creative ways we can get out there in the community. We're sharing the alumni magazine that was just printed for this summer, which has an amazing story from a Department of Corrections, somebody that was incarcerated, and then now teaches at one of the largest community colleges here in the state of Illinois. I met her at a summit. She's incredible. So she shared her story with us. It is in our alumni newsletter that has been distributed. So right now I'm going to be hitting the pavement and taking those to everyone that I can, all these businesses, and kind of just sharing, what we have in there, which is just a ton of information that I feel like we don't even hit the surface. So they dropped me off like 700 copies today, and I will be out for the next probably month until I get to my busy travel season, and just spreading the word. Some of the community events we have coming up include a couple different parades in different communities. So we have the Honeybee Festival parade in Paris later in September. We're working with local high schools on getting to some high school football games, and just passing some stuff out to the community, getting our name out there. We will also be working with them on homecoming events coming up, and hopefully the Coles County Clash, which is a huge event between Mattoon and Charleston. And from there, we're really just doing some family-based events. So our trunk or treat that we have here in Mattoon, we're going to be represented there, as well as some events in Effingham and in Pana coming up. So really just trying to work within our district. And then October, I'll be hitting the road and visiting all of our DOC sites, which are anywhere from 30 minutes away all the way up to 4 hours. So really getting on the road. And I love that, even working with some of the vendors that attend these events. They're just some really inspirational people. And I love every summit that I go to and every person that I get to meet along the way. So it's going to be a really busy fall. but I'm excited about it. So
It sounds like a blast. Like you really have one of the coolest positions on campus. You get to see all these really awesome, amazing opportunities, and you just get to enjoy being out in the community as well and making a difference. And that together is, yeah, I might be a smidge jealous right now.
well, you can come with me anytime.
I think I will. I think I will. So thank you so much for chatting with me today. I am excited for all the fun stuff coming up, and I think I will probably invite you back soon. So whenever you are ready, you let me know. All right.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Jamie.
You've been listening to Workforce Innovation News powered by LWEA 23. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. To learn more about LWEA 23, visit lwa23.net.